Something has got to happen because we can no longer go down the path that we're going down. This country won't last another 6 months. This country won't last another 12 months if something doesn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch. It's time to get involved. It's time to move the line forward. And if you're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So I don't care what flip the switch is. I don't care if that means that all of this nonsense is nonsense, or if some of it's true. All right. Welcome, Warriors, World Patriots, my fellow Americans. My name is Mike. I'm the host of the Liberty Warrior. Give me liberty or give me death. When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes our duty. It is Monday, April, April the 4th, 2022. Almost said May. I don't want to skip that far ahead in the year. It's already flying by like crazy as it is. Had a great weekend fishing with my folks and with my son. Got out of cell phone range, to be honest with you, completely isolated, and it was an amazing time. I got a lot of fishing in with my dad, a lot of good times with mom and my son, and just had a really good time. So I'm refreshed. I'm ready to start the week. Had a great podcast today with Diamond Inn. If you guys missed that, it's over there on Podbean, Spotify, or Amazon Music at LWN Podcast. We put out some good information today. If you guys want to pick that up, We had Headline Hits was great this morning. And then our devotion was also really great this morning as well. So you pick us up through most of the day. If you guys are looking for something to listen to, we're always around right here at LWN. So I've got an amazing guest tonight, Mel Carmine. Listen, you guys better just sit down, buckle up, and get ready. He's going to bring a lot of information tonight. It will probably blow your minds, to be honest with you. There's going to be some questions I'm going to ask. You know me, I always have questions, and that's how we find answers, is we have to ask questions. So before I bring Mel in here, I'm going to just open us in prayer, and then I'm going to bring him in. Folks, there's a lot of Mel's people that are going to be here tonight as well. Let's welcome them. I have no idea who they are or where they're coming from, but he said he's put the invite out. So let's show them some hospitality when they roll up here tonight. That'd be great. And with that being said, dear Heavenly Father, we just we come to you this evening, Lord. We ask you to bless the show, Lord. Just let us have an amazing conversation tonight, regardless of who believes what, Lord. Just information that Mel is bringing to our viewers and to our listeners tonight. It's an honor to spend this time with him on air, Lord, and he's got so much information. He spent so many decades of compiling. And Lord, we just want to hear it, and we can decipher it for ourselves. We just ask your blessing over the show tonight, and for all of us to have a fun time getting to know one another. In your son's precious name, amen. All right, folks, saddle up. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and bring Mel in. How you doing, Mel?
Hey, I'm doing great. I tell you what, I could have sat there for an hour and a half watching that intro. That was amazing.
Thanks. That's War Machine. That's my brother, War Machine. He puts all of our videos together for us. He does an amazing job. I get a complaint here or there about it's too long, but it really just puts you in the mood, and it allows people to get into chat, get amped up, get ready to go. And here we are. We're ready to open the gates and let the thoroughbreds run.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for inviting me. I mean, I had an incredible conversation with your producer, and she was amazing. And I told you that earlier, that should have been a podcast, because that would have been hyper viral very quick. I guarantee you. And I asked you again on the air, let me interview her, because she's an incredible wealth of knowledge, and her and I just clicked.
Absolutely. Denise is wonderful. She's got a lot to say, and I pay attention because it's really good information. So, well, how about if we start off with a little bit of your background and kind of where you come from and why you got into all this?
Wow. Okay. That's a loaded question, man. I was born on the island of Sicily, moved to the States in 1972, exactly when the SWIFT system that we're trying to overtake with XRP was born, was when I moved to the United States. Got into pizzas with my family. We've owned like 9 pizza shops all over, not all at once, but we've owned quite a few shops, and got into networking and marketing and online marketing and consulting. I've done pretty much everything, to be quite honest. And usually if I get into something, I like to get to the top of the game as quickly as possible. But when I got into the XRP thing, I got to be honest with you, Mike. When I realized that there's 2 teams on the field, not one, like the rest of the XRP army who's stuck on that story, and I can't get them to come over to our side for whatever crazy reason, which I've tried. I respect them immensely, don't get me wrong. But, to think that there's only one team on the field that belongs to Klaus Schwab, I just don't buy that story. You know what I mean? And so when I realized that, hey, the other team is called QFS, GESARA, NESARA, and there's, this going on and that's going on and this is going on. And I started to connect the 17 dots, not 3 dots, 17 dots. Okay. You know which team we're on, right? And I realized, okay, and it's all connected to POTUS. It's all connected to the lawsuit. Emily from, QSI, Quantum Stellar Initiative, her and I did a podcast, and she painted the picture. There is no doubt, zero, that the lawsuit was settled. We have the video sitting in our, the YouTube channel, and Nick killed it out of the park. I'm not that popular yet. I'm just getting there. I'm not as big as you are, okay? But that video should have got 100,000 hits or more under normal circumstances. But we're still pushing it out there because she shows you physical documentation. So there's a lot of moving parts, and the movie could be very confusing for somebody that doesn't have a very clean pineal gland once you come into my movie. If your pineal gland is up to speed and you're in my movie theater, I'll give you all the free popcorn you want. I'll give you the Quantum Financial Systems Manual, free of charge, which now we merged it with the Quantum Stellar Initiative. Okay, she has a website that actually covers the other end of the spectrum, which is the Lobster. Okay, the Lobster is what actually completed our, the actual Quantum Financial Systems Manual. It's a document that is on steroids. See, all of this information, like I was telling Mike earlier, it exists out there, but the reality is it's scattered. You got to go find it. So what we did is we took it and put it in a nice little neat package. We put it in a chronological elementary order that makes sense that the average 12-year-old or 72-year-old or 85-year-old grandmother or grandfather could look at this stuff, and it's not difficult language that they can understand. Once they go through the 3 months worth of course, I'm sorry to tell you, there's 3 months worth of course in this. And you got to sit, there, and you got to go through it because we're never going back to the old system. It's never going to happen. Okay. Once we burn the system down, it's over. Okay. You don't have a choice. I'm sorry to tell you. Okay. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what it is. So you're going to have to go through the material, learn the material, come in our room and ask questions. You could be an asshole. Okay. And you can ask as many questions as you want. Unlimited smorgasbord on asking questions. And our patriots in the room will take you through the process. Now, there's a problem in our room. It's called scam artists, okay? So if you come into our room, and I'm going to leave the link down below in the video when Mike's staff gives it to me, you can actually join our Telegram group down below, and you can, learn about what's getting ready to happen. It's not maybe it's here. No. It's here. It's here now, and it's not going to stop. All of this stuff, like I said, is connected. The lawsuit with Ripple was already settled October 1st, 2021, okay? And people don't understand. So when Emily came on and she quickly put together a presentation that was absolutely stellar, no pun intended, I said, okay, we're onto something. But what's happening here also is we're meeting all the right people, Mike, and we're bringing all the right pieces of the puzzle together so that we could really get everybody, acclimated to what's getting ready to happen. I don't know if it's divine intervention, call it whatever you want to call it, but something is not right here in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk about, obviously what we're seeing is not a normal thing, and it's not making any sense. And I keep talking about a major shift that's getting ready to happen. Which way it shifts, I'm hoping it shifts the direction we're all hoping, because if it shifts the other direction, I think we're in trouble. So let's talk about the first topic, which is NESARA, GESARA. I know that's one of your favorite topics. It's something that I've always been intrigued with. Sometimes it's hard to follow along. I don't necessarily always believe every bit of it, but pieces of it, I could kind of see it happening. So would you like to start there tonight?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, you see, GESARA and NESARA has been tried before. Remember those two things that came down in New York that we're going to be very careful with our language here? It was supposed to happen then, and it didn't happen. It was supposed to happen before then. It didn't happen a bunch of times because we gave too much power to the elite. They had power, had. Remember, I'm saying the word had is in past tense, okay? They are losing 100,000 to nothing, okay? They're getting beat. Their asses are getting handed them in a very big way. And so the reality is GESARA and NESARA is about to happen. And you know where? Are you familiar with where?
I'm gonna.
If you had to take a guess,
no.
Russia. Russia's about to usher it in. Okay.
Well,
Putin reports to Trump. Okay. Putin, Pundi, Xi Jinping, Bolsonaro. They're all working together, folks. These are the 5 presidents that are going to bring in GESARA and NESARA to the entire planet. Is it going to happen all at once? No, it's going to happen in stages. Okay. Pretty much Putin at this point has told the global and the elites to go take a flying leap. And he's done that, I believe, successfully.
I think the Russian ruble is now 100% gold backed as well. And with all these sanctions that they try to put on Russia, he's just laughing at them at this point because he's in my opinion got the bull by the horns and he owns it.
No question. No question. Absolutely. You have to be blind, deaf, and stupid. See, to want to come into the movie theater and just stay in for 5 minutes and, maybe hang out in the doorway and say, oh, this is not going to happen. You could do that. You're allowed to, do whatever you want to do. And I know people are busy with life and all. Listen, like you said earlier, if we don't win this, we could still go back the other way and the bad guys could win. So that's why we're looking for leaders to rise up. This is about leadership. This is about people standing up. And if there's any men out there with some testosterone, please, wear your, am I allowed to say the word that starts with a C? Cojones?
Cojones. We can use cojones.
Okay, wear your cojones, man. Stand up. I want people, I got to be as crazy as it may sound, Mike, I want people to actually physically copy what I do and put their own ingredients into the cake and run with it. I want to build an XRP Army 2.0, not a 1.0 that sings, the government's screwing us, the SEC is screwing us, the lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. It's the same song over and over and over again. We know all of that. There's another movie that's playing. We're going to give you free tickets. Come on in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if it starts off in Russia and there's presidents or whatever you want to call them, the rulers of some of these other countries that are going to usher this in, and it starts in Russia, is it going to be something that, stays over on that side of the ocean for a while, or is it going to hit our shores here pretty quick?
I believe, Mike, with all due respect, when this thing comes unraveled, it's going to happen so fast. It's going to crush everybody's reality around their knees. They're not going to believe what they're going to see, and it's going to move in rapid pace. Right now, there is a big manipulation going on with the markets because the big boys, they know the game is over. The central bank digital currency, for example, is not going to get off the ground at all. The reason why they're not going to get off the ground is why in the world would I use central bank digital currency if you wanted to sell me your microphone, that you have that beautiful microphone, which I'm sure it's probably a little more advanced than the one I'm using, okay? And you wanted $100 for that microphone. And I got your receiving wallet keys to resend you XRP for that $100 microphone, and you're willing to accept XRP as payment. And I'm able to send it directly to you. Do I need central bank digital currency? No. Bingo. This is all a stall tactic. See, I think, Jim Willey, who I've interviewed a couple of times, said it best. The bankers thought they were going to go and build their own Ripple, their own XRP. And when they realized that the secret sauce was so darn difficult to copy, right? They realized that they had to go back and work their ways back into the good graces of Brad Garlinghouse, which is a gangster. He's a gangster on the inside. He doesn't look at it like a gangster. He looks very non-threatening on the outside, but on the inside, he's a bull. And I will tell you that when they realized that all the talent pool is dried up, anybody who's anybody already works for Ripple XRP, and there's nobody left, okay? And they can't build their own XRP. They say, okay, don't worry about it. We're going to build you some CBDCs. I think this is just a way to fluff their testes, if you will, okay? Just to make them feel good, okay? But I don't think CBDCs will ever see the light of day when people understand, because I could teach a brand new person that knows nothing about nothing in about an hour or less. I could teach you that these asset classes work perfectly well peer-to-peer, and central bank digital currencies have been out of business. Listen, the banks can't come to your house and put a gun to your head, and neither could the governments and say, you have to use CBDCs. It's the law. Pass the laws until you're blue in the face. If I can pay you direct, and the wallets work perfectly well, sending and receiving, I rest my case.
So that's part of XRP is to just completely dissolve all central banking.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. I believe that XRP is going to do what Bitcoin set out to do, but failed miserably. And failed miserably, why? Because proof of work doesn't work. 2 minutes per two transactions per minute doesn't work. The Lightning Network doesn't work. Waiting 4 or 5 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours for a transaction to go through, that doesn't work. sending 2 Bitcoins and it costs you $5,000. That doesn't work. You understand? So the problems are, and the Lightning Network has been trying to fix it forever, for like 5-6 years. If they haven't been able to fix it in 5 or 6 years, what are the chances that they're going to be able to fix it in the next 5 or 6?
Yeah, probably slim to none, right?
You do one transaction with Bitcoin. Hello? Okay. I lost you there for a second, unless you switch cameras.
No, it just rebooted on me.
Oh, okay. So if that is the case, I mean, look, I'm gonna get positioned here. I'm gonna get positioned like a bull here to deliver some serious stuff. If that doesn't work, and one transaction of Bitcoin, you could run your entire house. In other words, you could run the energy that's provided to do one transaction with Bitcoin. You could run your entire house for an hour and a half. I'm sorry, for a month and a half, 2 months. 2 months, one transaction. It's dirty, uses up too much energy. Okay, the proof of work doesn't work. If you were to take this into a courtroom, Mike, with all due respect, if you were to take this into a courtroom, the judge is going to ask you, what problems does Bitcoin solve, right? And say, oh no, we're a store gold. You know, you could store gold. You know, we're to protect the value. Okay, the judge is going to say, listen, buddy, that doesn't work. Let's put that in a nice little neat box, and let's put it over here for a second. What else do you? Oh, we're scarce. Oh, really? You're scarce? That's not a functionality, and scarcity doesn't fix nothing. So you have no functionality. You fail out of the gate. XRP, you could do federated side chains. You could build other tokens on it. You can build NFTs on it. It moves at the speed of light. It could be amped up to 3.5 trillion transactions per second. Undisputable. The information's out there. I got the videos that prove that. And it's never made a mistake. Michael Arrington moved about 3.5 years ago. He moved $50 million as a test from point A to point B. It took 2.8 seconds, and it cost him 30 cents.
Wow.
Okay, so this is going to be the real Bitcoin 5.0, in my opinion, that's really going to take down the banking system. Because at the end of the day, look, here's what it comes down to, and I think you'll agree with this, and I think your audience will agree with this as well. Technology could be used for good, and it could be used for bad, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay, so if the good guys win, the technology ends up in the hands of the good guys, correct?
I would say yes.
Yeah. So if it ends up in the hands of the good guys, and the good guys are winning 100,000 to nothing, the technology is going to be used for good. If the technology ends up in the bad hands, it will be used for bad. Just like HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. That technology was what? It was supposed to, if it was raining too hard somewhere, it would make it, not rain so much. And if it was not raining somewhere else, it would make it rain, etc. But it got in the hands of is going to be a system that's going to have no taxes, no income taxes, no property taxes, no capital gains taxes. Governments are going to be shrunk down by 90 to 95%. That's bare minimum. But what happens next now is not just that, is really when you shrink the governments down by 95%, Mike, and everybody has to pay taxes on things that are, wants, not needs. Okay, if you want a brand new stereo system for your house and it costs $29,000, you're going to be paying anywhere between 14 to 17% taxes. But everybody's got to pay that tax. Nobody gets away because why? Because GESARA and NESARA is going to run on what? The blockchain. Mm-hmm. Nobody gets away with it. Okay? You can no longer finagle the bagel. And this is why they don't want the system. What happened with the voting with Trump? The problem we had with, right? I can't mention the word because we don't want to get the thing shut down. Well, what happened? Voting is going to happen through what? Through the blockchain system. It's accurate. All the boxes have to agree with each other. All the blockchains have to agree. If one box is out of whack, it doesn't work. Okay? This is the struggle we're going through.
So hold on just a second here. I got to ask a question. So you said that you only pay taxes on your wants. So you're saying the needs, like your power bill, your grocery bill, stuff like that, would be taxless?
Yes, grocery bills, drugs, clothes, completely no shoes, all that stuff. No taxes. If you buy a secondhand car, there's no taxes. Why? Because somebody already paid taxes on that car.
Amen.
You want to charge taxes on a used car? How many times? That car changes hands 5 times. The government's going to get paid 5 times? Wrong. But what happens is because everybody has to pay that, let's say 17. I love that number 17, right? It represents a special letter that we're all part of in the alphabet. So let's just say, for example, okay, we all pay 17% taxes. Nobody gets away with, cheating the system because it's now on the blockchain. Mike, because of the fact that we got rid of 95% of the government, and everybody has to pay that 17% tax on wants, we actually have more money in the tilt than when we were doing it the other way.
Mm-hmm.
How many 501c3s are there in the world? The churches, all the big, tycoon moguls, all the guys down in Hollywood, they all know about it. They pay zero.
Yeah, they get around it quite a bit.
Can you guys hear me okay? How's my sound?
Yeah, I can hear you. We're getting an echo, so I didn't know if you had YouTube on or not. I'm getting an echo.
Don't. I have YouTube videos, but they're not playing.
Okay. I'm getting an echo somewhere. That's all right.
Okay.
So yeah, everybody's telling me I got feedback. I'm checking it out, guys. So let's talk about some of the other benefits of NESARA GESARA.
Sure. What would you like to talk about, Mike? Throw it at me. I think I can handle it.
Well, can we maybe dissolve the rumor that when it kicks in, everybody's going to be multimillionaires? Is there any truth to that?
Well, I like to walk with my feet firm on the ground, terra firma. And yes, there are a lot of people waiting for the RV, and there's a lot of people that own dongs and Zims, and there is some truth to it that these things are going to have some sort of value. Is there some people out there that own a certain amount of dongs and Zims and dinars that think they're going to become multi-trillionaires? Yes. I don't know that that's going to be true. I don't know. I don't have any way of gauging whether that's true or false or indifferent. I do know that there are quite a few people that do believe in that, just as much as I believe in XRP is going to be the one that's going to rule basically pretty much the movement of $5 quadrillion a year. That's why it cannot be worth 82 cents. You can't move 5 quadrillion with 82 cents, maybe $82,000. Now we're talking, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, a lot of people just, I'm going to have to reboot this. I'm getting an echo really bad, but a lot of people, when it first came out, said that everybody's going to be multimillionaires and nobody will have to work.
Well, no, you're going to have to work because we're going into a humanitarian equation. Humanitarian equation. I don't know if we're still recording, but I'm talking. Am I still being recorded?
Yeah,
yes.
You're good, man. I just
good. We're going to go into humanitarian. So, for example, let's say you have some dongs or some Zims or some dinars. You're going to have to report somewhere. They're going to give you a special 800 number when the switch over happens, and you're going to have to do something with that money where it benefits humanity. This is the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of the world. There might be billionaires right now, and there's going to be maybe 10 million or maybe 100 million new multi-billionaires. That's a very strong possibility. Okay, I know there's quite a few people in our room that own a lot of XRP, and we know what the end game XRP is going to be: 50, 100,000 conservatively. It has to be that to move all the money on Earth. You can't move all the money on Earth with a small token that's worth nothing, and they base it on all this other stuff that doesn't mean nothing. And when the new calculations come in, and when they understand that they turn on the switch, and it's for their benefit, not ours. We're just a bunch of peons. We're just going along for the ride. We were never supposed to get this asset class. I'm going to get that a little bit later, but I want to answer your question. Okay. So people think that everybody's going to be a gazillionaire and I don't have to do nothing. No. You're going to have to do something that betters humanity. This is the new business plan is you got 7,200 multi-billionaires. Most of them are interested in killing you. Okay?
Yeah, no kidding. Yep.
So can you imagine now if we have 100 million new multi-billionaires that have to do something with that wealth? Because listen, at the end of the day, I hate to tell you, money's going to be phased out. Even XRP will be gone in 20, 30 years. We are becoming wealthy at the tail end of when it used to be fashionable. You know, if you got wealthy in the 60s and 70s and 80s, you got a nice long stretch to really enjoy your money. But we're actually coming in the tail end of things to where technology is going to move so fast that you can have anything you want because technology can produce anything you want. Anything. I don't care if it's a gelato or if it's a flying saucer or anything in between. And when you go down that rabbit hole and you understand that this is not just a possibility, that technology already exists out in the cosmos because we're not alone. And they're not all fallen angels and they're not all here to kill us because if they could have killed us, they could have cleaned our clock a long time ago. They're 10 million years more advanced than we are, if not 20. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yes, are there some bad people from other places in the universe? Absolutely. 100,000%. And most of them, I hate to tell you, they're in your governments. They've been there for a long time. Most of them are self-appointed.
Okay, so here comes some questions.
Sure.
If we're going to the Jetsons where technology can make anything you want, what's that going to cost us?
Zero. We're headed to a utopia, but GESARA and NESARA is not it. GESARA and NESARA, you're still going to have to do something to get your universal basic income, which is not going to be the Klaus Schwab, as I like to call him. Okay. It's not going to be his universal basic income. It's going to be our universal basic income, which is probably going to be more in tune of about $5,000-$6,000 a month. We're getting in free energy technology with this. We're getting quantum healing beds with this. This is the whole fabric of the earth is going quantum, not just financial. It's everything. And when people wake up to this reality, and when people wake up and they realize, holy shit, that guy down in Costa Rica, you know, he looked nuts, but he was pretty much spot on. Listen, I've been on spot on for 30 years. I've been telling people for 30 years there's going to be a new world order. Mm-hmm. I've been telling people for 30 years that about the kids and all of that and the missing on the milk cartons and all of that. I won't get into details. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Mm-hmm. 25 years ago, 26 years ago, I came across Alex Collier. Alex Collier has a video of him when he was much, much younger. And he had milk cartons missing. And he told the story around that milk carton stuff. And most people said, that guy is crazy. No, because we're going through that right now. There's a lot more people on this side of the fence with Alex Collier than on the other side of the fence at this point. But it took 25 years for people to get to where I was already at 25 years earlier.
Okay. So there's there's so much information that we can't cover it in one show because it's definitely a heavy thing. I'm trying to stay focused on XRP and NESARA, GESARA, and then how does QFS fit in that?
Sure. The quantum financial system is multifaceted. It's going to be the XRP is going to be the bus, like Jim Willie likes to say, that drives GESARA and NESARA. That is the main component. These are basically, call it software on steroids, call it nodes, which basically is accounting software on steroids that resides in outer space. Why does it need to reside in outer space? Some people say, well, you know, from an EMP attack. That's partially true. Partially.
Man, the internet is
Grow
horrible
up.
tonight.
Yeah, in case we don't grow up. Is it better if I talk into the microphone?
Your signal is so weak, it's barely showing up.
Let me see here. Yeah, I'm on 5G. You want me to do a speed test? You can edit this out?
Nah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
keep going.
fine.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
So anyway, like I was saying, it's multifaceted. The low-lying satellites where the nodes reside, which keep the accounting, which is the blockchain that keeps track of all that's going on with XRP, are all connected to the quantum computers. Where are the quantum computers located? Well, there's 3 locations. I forgot to ask my friend Razor, but I know one of them happens to be Reno, Nevada, and it's heavily fortified with some serious artillery. Okay. What are they guarding? Well, they're guarding the new financial system that's about to engulf the entire planet. You know,
I'm losing you. It keeps breaking up for some reason. So here's the question. Here's the question that I have, because we start talking about things happening outside of this atmosphere. We got people in chat right now that believe the Earth is flat. Some of them believe the Earth is round. Some people believe we've never been to the moon. I tend to believe the Earth is round, and I believe we've been to the moon. So how do you explain that to people who think that we've never been outside of this atmosphere because the Earth is flat? So how do you explain that to them?
Well, again, that's a loaded question. I have my own thoughts and my own opinions about that. I don't know that we've ever been to the moon. I got to be honest with you.
Okay.
There's been plenty of footage around that basically shows that it could have been very easily staged. Footage and follies, where they had total catastrophes happen on the set, where lighting falls down and people trip and fall, and somebody trips over some wire. We got all that footage. So, being the fact that we've been on a planet it's fake, this is fake news planet. Okay, everything's been fake. Everything you went to school to learn, it's all BS. Okay. When it's all said and done, we're gonna have to go back and burn everything and start over again. Chances are, look, mathematically, yes, some people say you can hold a string, or you could do this and you could do that, or you could hold a laser at night and you can measure the fact that the Earth is flat. Okay, wonderful. I say, you know what? I don't know. That's the most intelligent answer that I can give you, because if you can give me a spaceship, and allow me to travel out there and take a 50,000 mile foot view, whatever, I'll come back and I will tell you exactly if it's round, square, rectangular, whatever the shape is, I will tell you. But I would like to believe that it's round. I want to be able to say, you know what? They lied us about everything except for that one. It was round. You know what I mean? And, but I don't know. The answer is I don't know. I don't have enough hours in the day running 3 Telegram channels and running YouTube channels and Rumble channels. And, this takes up a lot of time. So I'm going to leave that to other people. And I don't discredit flat earthers, because my brother, I talked to him yesterday. He said, Mel, he goes, I got to tell you, he goes, I'm 80% the way there. I said, oh boy, another one. So what are you going to do? It is what it is. I mean, look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That doesn't make it a fact, because nobody can really, because we've been held, Mike, we're backwards 400 years, according to Alex Collier. And that's a conservative estimate. I say 1,000. Okay. Mm-hmm. We should be 1,000 years ahead of where we are right now, which means we should have been traveling amongst the stars a long time ago. Okay. And we're not there yet, because somebody decided to hold us back. Somebody decided that they're going to poison our food, our water, our toothpaste, everything. And when I found out about that, I started buying toothpaste, 25 years ago that cost, $14, $18 a tube. It doesn't cost that much anymore, but that's what it used to cost back then. But I refused to put Colgate in my body. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Now, some of that I agree with you on. I believe we have been lied about a lot of things, lied to about a lot of things. I think they do put things in our food. I don't disagree with any of those statements at all, because I pay attention to that stuff as well. I've changed a lot of my habits because of it. So we'll leave flat Earth and round Earth right where it's at, and we'll jump over and talk about the Great Awakening versus the Great Reset. Let's hit that a little bit.
Yeah, well, the Great Awakening is happening now, except I don't know that I can call somebody who's still wearing a face diaper awake. Is he wearing the face diaper, or is he or she wearing the face diaper to not cause any waves, not to get into a fight with somebody? What's their reasoning for it? Nobody really knows. Or is it because they're still asleep? So there's a lot of questions that come into the equation. I personally think, yes, more people than ever are awakening, and we're definitely in the middle of the Great Awakening. And this is why we're not there yet. We're still in third density civilization. We're still 3D. For us to get to 4D, 5D, 6D, and beyond, we got to wake everybody up to where everybody comes in the movie theater and sees what we see, and they say, aha, I see it. You understand? We're not there yet. I don't think it's going to happen as fast as we all like. I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. It could happen next week. Okay? But, the reality is we got to get rid of our media. We got to get rid of the media. We got to replace the media with something else that works. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We know. I mean, look, their ratings are terrible. You give me another, providing they don't mess with my channel, you give me another 6 months to a year and a half, I'm probably going to have better ratings than CNN. And I'm a nobody. I'm an ex-pizza guy. What the hell do I know?
I like that. I like getting rid of them. I think it's important that we do get rid of them. A lot of people are waking up, though. I see it each and every day when I report the news. It's coming out little by little, trickles, and it's just really amazing to see that they're finally starting to put it out there for people to realize, hey, you know what? The laptop was real. Hey, you know what? When they called that conspiracy, it was real. It's happening every day. I report on it every day.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what would really expedite, it would be like putting turbochargers on jet airplane jet engines, okay, and supercharged fuel. What would expedite GESARA and NESARA is Putin comes out and says, we're done. We're no longer doing it. And he calls it out by name. He said he'll call it out by name on alternative news, international news, independent news, all kinds of news. We're going with GESARA and NESARA. Boom. That would make it pop. That would make it pop all over the world instantaneously.
Well, I think that would definitely be a jump start for sure. I still really, I still really can't wrap my mind around that whole thing. I think there has to be there has to be a change of currency for sure. I definitely believe that paper is going bye-bye. I believe that the petrodollar is going bye-bye, and that there will be a digital currency. Now, I was hoping to see, I mean, we've been having digital currency really for a long time. I mean, I can go on my phone right now and I can change, I can transfer funds from one bank to the next, and it will happen pretty rapidly. So digital is already here. But I would also like to see, I think there's 8 states now in the union that have gold-backed currency, gold notes. And I think I'd like to see a mixture of both.
Well, there's a lot of people out there that think that, there's going to be a rainbow currency, okay? Let me make that very clear. And it's paper, and it's going to be tracked on the blockchain. It's going to be tracked everywhere it goes. It will know, it will tell you which dollar got spent on what, everything about that note. But that's going to go away. I think they're doing that if it's even going to come out. I've seen pictures of it. I don't know one way or the other whether it's fake or whether it's real. But I could tell you one thing for sure. If they do come out with this rainbow currency, it's for...
Wow.
Comes to thinking digitally, right? So, but I think that because they want to feel it, touch it, smell it, whatever, but at some point, even that's going to go away. We're going to go fully digital. But I don't think that, see, the gold, part of the gold, because there's so much gold, they don't know what to do with it all. They can make every man, woman, and child worth $10 billion on earth. Every single one of us could be worth $10 billion, and they still have more gold left over. That's how much gold there is.
So why don't they do that?
Because if they did that, nobody would do anything. And we're not completely, artificial intelligence is not smart enough to take over everything. See, what the cabal wanted to do is they wanted artificial intelligence to take over and get rid of us with that thing that goes in your arm that we're not allowed to mention. Okay. And once they get rid of all of us, they got all the artificial intelligence. They don't need all of us. We're a bunch of useless eaters, and voila, and they take over the planet. We're saying no. That's why I decided to be a soldier in this fight. And I said no. And I'm recruiting. So if anybody wants to join us, okay, you're more than welcome to join us. Go down below and make sure you hit our quantum financial systems manual, and make sure you go into our Telegram group, and let's join this fight. Because if we all stand up, you know how that story goes with the ants, right? If they all stand up, we're in a lot of trouble. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to beat this drum until there's nothing left to beat, but we're not going to win. We're not going to lose. We're going to make sure that the cabal loses this fight. There's no chance that they're going to win.
There's so many people out there that are in the fight. Schwab, Claus, whatever his name is. That guy is definitely, he is out there to take us down. He says it constantly. He goes on record almost weekly. He's starting to put a lot more stuff out there. I've been paying attention to it. So it's just a lot of information, and I've been down a lot of these rabbit holes. I'm just trying, like everyone else, to make sense of it all, because some of it I do not believe in, some of it I do believe in, and some of it it's just I'm still trying to figure it out, and I'm still trying to figure out this whole NESARA, GESARA, XRP definitely makes sense to me, because, like I said, they're going to have to shift to something, and I know a lot of people are invested in XRP. But it just seems to make sense to me right now, for sure.
Well, listen, when they flip the switch, and this is going to happen very quickly. See, like I was saying earlier, we weren't supposed to get our hands on this asset class. They went to the bankers. That was the original protocol, was for them to be able to use this digital class directly. And if you want to get technical, XRP was going to be the CBDC of the world through the banks, and us, the little peasants, would have never got their hands on. But because they poo-pooed it, because they said, no, we don't want it, okay, and us little guys got our hand, a little paws around it, and now we own a lot of it, and they can't stop it, and we know what it is, and they know we know what it is. And this is dangerous because what? Because the more you manipulate the price, because it's been manipulated 7 ways from Sunday, okay, every step of the way. The more you manipulate it and the more you keep it down, the more our people are buying more. We're buying the dips, we're dollar averaging in, and we're going to hold long term. And when the day comes, whether it's a year from now, 5 years from now, I've been here for almost 6 years. I'm willing to wait for another 6. I'm here to collect. I'm here to collect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going anywhere.
Where does gold and silver fit into all this?
Well, gold and silver has also been manipulated. If you go to the Debt Clock website, okay? If you go to the Debt Clock website and you go to the right-hand side, you scroll about halfway down, you will see the real price of gold has been fluctuating as low as like $21,000 per ounce to as much as $42,000 per ounce. That's the real price, dollar to gold ratio. They tell you straight to your face. Here it is. Yes, we're manipulating it. You can't stop us. That day's coming to an abrupt end. The chickens are coming home to roost.
I keep telling people the shift's coming, and it's getting close. I can tell you that. There was a question in the chat I wanted to grab for you real quick.
Sure.
They said have him talk about Indus domains on Lobster, please. Very important.
That is way above my pay grade. I'll be the first one to tell you that I am one person. My wife, on the other hand, who's very camera shy, she'll never be on camera. She'll never own a podcast. She knows a lot about it because when I got into this thing with Quantum Stellar Initiative, which is the Telegram group on Telegram that you guys should all join. Okay, Emily and I came across Tim. These people are unbelievable. They know all about that part of the equation. Now we're marrying that. I've seen some videos enough for me to have the aha moment, for me to sit here and explain to you exactly how all that works. That would not be me, but I would highly encourage you to go to the Quantum Stellar Initiative Telegram group and join right now, because again, they're going to charge you zero. Can you guys afford zero? Free of charge. Okay. And they'll take you by the hand. They have an entire website, which is now going to be part of our Quantum Financial Systems Manual. And by the way, you don't mind if I give myself a plug. We're building a website called QFS1776.com. Okay. You got to love that name. QFS1776.com is being built. My wife is in the other room right now. She's either probably watching me or building the website. We've actually had a wonderful person come out. I wish I can give her a plug because I don't remember her name, damn it. But anyway, the reality is somebody came and said, look, you guys are busy. We know you're running like chickens without a head. We want to build you a free website. Right now, I could use somebody to come clean my house too and wash my dishes and cook me a meal, because that's how busy we are, believe it or not. But you know, the lobster thing, from what I understand, and I could get it wrong, but I don't believe I am. I know enough about it to be dangerous. What the lobster is, it's a new form of the new and improved stock market. Okay, because these corporations were involved with nefarious activity that we cannot talk about here. That includes McDonald's, that we cannot talk about here. But if you know the story, America and the rest of the world will be out there in the middle of the street puking their freaking guts out for a week once you understand the story. And we're not going to get into specifics. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And because of that, when you watch the documentary, The Bonfire Guy, and you see Donald Trump traveling from one country to another, and every time they would get into another country, they would pile up a pile of files, and he said, we got it all. We got it all. We got everything. Here's your choice. Sell your assets through the Lobster system and get out of Dodge. And they're going to get out of Dodge. And I hate to tell you, the cloning stuff, I had a hard time, Michael, really wrapping my mind around it 2 years ago. Now, when you start to really look at, you know, the guy who's in charge, Mr. Joe, whatever you want to call him, okay, he's not my president, that's for damn sure, okay? Nope. And you look at his earlobes, and you look at the fact that there used to be a mark here, and you start to look at his teeth, and you start to look at his eyes. There are anomalies that you cannot discount. You cannot just sweep it underneath the rug.
I've looked at it a few times, and I'm just like, this really does not look like the same guy.
Bingo. Whoever it is, whether it's a clone, an actor, a robot, I don't know. I'm not part of the big club, okay? But I do know that I use a lot of discernment, and I use a lot of, you know, what people are pointing out. They're a lot smarter than I am. And I say, yeah, that makes sense. When you put the pictures side by side, you know, even Klaus Schwab might not be Klaus Schwab. He might be already been taken care of. You're in a movie. Get used to it. This is a movie.
This movie sucks at times.
It
definitely sucks. It definitely sucks. So here's something I got to ask. So NESARA GESARA is going to be great for everybody. It's going to be fair to everybody. It talks about debt forgiveness, a lot of stuff compared to the fiat system that we have now, which, in my opinion, we're all slaves to debt at this point. We're taken advantage of. We all have to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, two parents in the home having to work just to survive. How is that all going to play out in this shift? And can you explain a little bit about that?
Well, just like they're going to wipe out the global deficit and start from a clean slate, they have to have something else to fall back on. That's why they have NESARA GESARA. But let me tell your audience something that I think they would be very intrigued to hear. In my room, in my little room that was only 3,000 and change, and now it's over. One room has got 9,000 and change. The other room has got almost 6,000 people, and I got another room that's got to do with the Trump election debacle that went on. That's
Hmm.
got almost 2,000 people. I got thousands of people following me at this point. In my little rooms, I have had people with receipts, not bullshit, documentation, telling us, hey, I don't have a student loan anymore. Hey, my car loan went away. I got a guy, Ben, right now, who lives in the UK. He's Australian, nice guy. I did a podcast with him way in the beginning. And he's one of my administrators as well. So, hello, Ben. Hey, you're doing a great job, buddy. The reality is, Ben is bringing me a guy that just got his mortgage wiped out. I said, get him to me because I want to do a podcast with him. So, this is happening. Is it happening to everybody? No. It's not like they're going to just click one switch and everybody's going to go to the bank tomorrow and say, oh, no, sorry, Mr. Smith, Mr. Williams, Mr. Jones, you don't have a mortgage. No. It's happening gradually. And the only thing that could speed this thing up, I think, is this thing that's going on over there in Russia. Once this thing is over, depending on how, Mr. Putin wants to come out to the world, he could be the guy. He could be the guy that's known as the guy that put GESARA and NESARA on the map because he's a world figure. And if he just utters the words and he says, screw the Federal Reserve banks of the world, screw the cabal, we're going to wipe out everybody's debt. We're going to go with GESARA and NESARA. That's all he has to do. He only has to do that one time. It's over.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question because there's one in the chat, and I have to ask the same question because I know of people who lay claim to the same thing, that some of their debt has maybe not been forgiven, but it's definitely it's disappeared for a minute. Let's just put it that way. So here's the question: how do they pick which people they do that with and which people they don't? Because, like we said, it's happening to some people and not some. Is it I know you probably don't know the answer. Is it a random thing, or is it by institution? Like maybe it's all just one bank, and so it hits random people because not all of us have loans through the exact same banks. I mean, any opinion on that?
Well, I wish I had the answer for that. I don't. I don't know what their rhyme or reason or how they pick uh, some people and not pick other people. My brother's been calling me. He would love to see his, father probably. I don't know how big his mortgage is, but I would probably believe it's probably over 5,000 a month. He would love that thing to just go away. And he's like, how come they didn't pick me? So I don't have the answer for that. I do know that based on what we're seeing, there are signs that are being documented right in our very room in our Telegram group. And when they come with actual receipts and they show this, and this has happened, I hate to tell you, at least almost a couple of dozen times already in my room. So when you take into account that we got collectively between the three rooms, maybe about 12, 13,000, 14,000 people, and that's happened almost 24 times. When you sort of try to compare that to the world's population, that could sort of give you a glimpse that it's not happening fast. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I have somebody in my family with the same DNA that has shown me. Um, they've shown me that some of their debt has been. Again, I'm not going to say it's been forgiven. I'm not going to say it's been erased. I'm going to say it's kind of just disappeared.
In
Is it
limbo.
gonna is it gonna reappear? I don't know. I'm watching it so closely, and it's everything from credit card to mortgages to car loans have disappeared off of their credit, and their credit is actually going up. It's bouncing anywhere from 7 to 20 points a month with this debt. Again, I'm not saying that it's been forgiven. I'm just saying it's no longer showing up on their credit report, and I find that very, very strange. And so yeah, I'm watching it. I want to see how that all plays out. If it comes back this month, next month, or month after, I don't know. It
Right,
just
right, right.
it's not
Yeah,
normal, because if it was all one institution, I could see where maybe they'd have some type of glitch, or they're going down and they're doing maintenance, and then all of a sudden it pops back up. I've seen that happen before. But when it's multiple institutions of credit, I just find that really odd.
Well, talking about glitches, I mean, XRP going back a year and a half, 2 years ago, that was the only one out of 14,000 coins, digital assets. That was the only one that would glitch, and it has glitched as high as $27 million per XRP, and everything in between. Okay, so are they trying to send us a message? I don't know. This person that you have that has the situation with the mortgage that sort of like disappeared, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently. I'd like to keep in touch with Mike, because this is a subject that's very dear to my heart, and I wouldn't mind interviewing that person as well. Listen, I understand we got a lot of time on our hands because of this New World Order. Okay, because when we're done with this, there's not going to be an odor left of this thing. Believe me. I'm out here fighting the fight 18 hours a day, and if I got to crank it up to 20 hours a day, so be it. I'll do it. But the facts are that we got to get as many people into the fight as possible, because this is not just me and Mike here. It's everybody. It's your kids. It's your future. Okay. But I want to get back to something else, if you don't mind. I want to sort of backtrack and go right back to Lobster, which is a new version of a stock market of sort. Okay. When Trump was traveling through all these countries and they put these files down on the table and they said, we have it all, these corporations are being forced to tokenize their assets. And if you know which ones to buy, which Emily from Quantum Stellar Initiative, she has taken all the guesswork out. If you don't want to, because if you're going through a minefield and you don't know what you're doing, chances are you might get blown up. But if she got to the other side of the minefield without blowing up, and you follow in her footsteps exactly, you should have the same exact. It's like cooking a cake. If you're baking a cake and you follow the same exact identical ingredients to do exactly what we're telling you to do, and you put it in the oven at 375 degrees, you're going to come up with the same exact product. Same thing here. Okay. So she has taken all the guesswork, but these corporations, because of their activities, that has to do with the little ones, okay? Because of their activities, and they have it all, and they do have it all, they have to liquidate their assets in the form of tokens. And if you know which ones to buy, according to Tim, by the way, is a world-renowned photographer who I had the pleasure, I didn't even know who he was. I met him by sheer accident. And his family was the one that created the first camera. He's on our channel. He said, what's going to happen inside Lobster, even though the XRP people are going to be wealthy beyond their wildest dreams, but what's going to happen inside Lobster is going to dwarf in comparison. And I'm starting to believe him. Mm-hmm. Because when you start to look at Sony, Canon, Yamaha, all these corporations, they're inside the wallet. But you got to know which ones to buy, because for every real one, there could be 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 fake ones in some instances. But you could buy for thousands of a penny, for $5, you could turn that $5 into millions of dollars 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road, if you're willing to wait.
That would be something spectacular. I was in the casino one night and I turned $7 into 700 playing craps. So
I guess you didn't crap out, right?
Yeah, I didn't crap out. So here's a couple of good questions that I saw in chat. Do you believe that the national debt will completely be dissolved? Do you think we'll start from zero?
Absolutely. Not just the national debt, international debt. Every nation is going to start from a clean slate. I have a video. I will send it to your producer, and she can add it below here, that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt, because this gentleman is reading directly from documentation, okay, not BS, that GESARA and NESARA has already been signed into law. The only thing we're waiting for is for Mr. T to get back. Okay. Now, I want to give you an example.
Okay.
When Bitcoin came out in 2009, Bitcoin came out at what price point? 0.0008, 3 zeros and an 8. That means for a penny, they would have given you 8 Bitcoins. Are you with me?
Yeah.
For $1, you could have gotten fabulously wealthy.
Yes.
If you can get, right, if you can get 8 for a penny and there's 100 pennies in $1, that means you have 800 Bitcoins for $1 times today's price. You're not doing too shabby. So when you compare that to the Lobster, it's not too difficult to believe that, yeah, this is possible. This is possible. Now, Bitcoin, like I said, was created. When was Bitcoin created? Bitcoin was created in 2008. What happened? We had the debacle with the housing crash, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Who worked at DARPA from 2000 all the way on through until Bitcoin was created? A guy by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, aka David Schwartz, also known as the CTO of Ripple. Go backwards, 1988, not 1998, 1988, David Schwartz patented, get this, your audience is about to fall off their seat. Blockchain technology was patented by David Schwartz in 1988. The problem, the internet wasn't up to speed. We're still on that dial-up shit, right? That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I remember that. It'd take 5 minutes to connect.
Yeah, you can make a bologna sandwich and a meatball parmesan at the same time that the page will load, right? So now they went to him. Most likely they created Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't work because of proof of work, which I explained to you earlier. Proof of work doesn't work. They went back to the drawing board. And the only guy that could fix Bitcoin is David Schwartz, because he's the guy that knows what's broken with Bitcoin.
Okay.
They create XRP. End of story. I could tell you David Schwartz recently was where? In Antarctica, a place that you and I are not allowed to go, at least the specific location that he went there with Christine Lagarde. What the hell is he doing down in Antarctica with Christine Lagarde? I'm sure he wasn't going on a date with Christine Lagarde. They're deciding. They are deciding how this whole thing is going to come unraveled.
Mm-hmm.
And people that you thought were white hats are going to turn out to be black hats, and people that you thought were black hats are going to turn out to be white hats. Imagine, just for hypothetical, for shits and giggles, okay? Imagine a Nancy Pelosi turning out to be a white hat. Wouldn't that blow people away?
I'd probably choke, yeah.
You understand? So the movie is a little confusing to throw everybody off. And if you don't know how to connect the dots, believe me, there's a lot more here than meets the eye.
Well, here's a couple of things for you. I was introduced to Bitcoin when it was $500 or $400 a coin. $400 a coin, and I thought, man, that's pretty expensive. And now look at it. Second thing is, there's questions in the chat about people who've paid like their houses off, their cars off. Are they going to get reimbursed for that interest that they had to pay? Because I saw one comment in the chat where it said that they received a check from their bank, and they couldn't even explain it. So that just I don't know. That seems pretty odd to me, but good question.
Well, yes, the reality is they're going to have to pay back even people like me, and I say this openly because I know that the enemy is mortally wounded and they can't fight back. Okay, I've cheated the system legally as much as I could, because why should I give you my money? You're going to take my money and build missiles and bullets and tanks, and really not interested. I'm not interested. So reality is, yes, a lot of people are going to get a reimbursement from all the BS that's happened to them and all the screw job that this entire monetary system is, but which by thousands of dollars worth of production value that teaches you what a real scam the old monetary system that's about to go extinct was. You won't be able, if you hit the play button, I promise you will not be able to stop watching them. I binge watched them at least 3-4 times. It explains it to you in elementary terms that anybody can understand. And when you understand, as bad as you think it is, it's 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse. It is the screw job of screw jobs of screw jobs.
Well, it's already bad enough for me. I don't need to think it could be 10 times or 100 times worse than that. That's just enough's enough. I think we've all had enough, whether you want to talk about mandates, restrictions, the Federal Reserve, taxes, our politicians. No matter what the conversation or the topic is, I think we're all full of it.
Yeah, I got people in my room that claimed that they're being audited and blah blah blah. And one guy said, "Screw them! I'm not gonna pay them." As a matter of fact, he said, "I'm gonna buy a ticket. I'm gonna come to Costa Rica and join you." So yes, you should do that. Everybody should do that, because if everybody just decides to say, "You know what? No, we're not doing it," what are they going to do? They're going to put everybody away? First of all, that story that they were hiring 87,000 IRS agents is a BS story on steroids. That's not a real story. I urge anybody who wants to go down to Washington, D.C., you will see the IRS building, the Homeland Security building. They're all boarded up. Did you ever see, by the way, Mike, did you ever see Washington, D.C. like this? With fences, and there's nobody at the White House, there's nobody at the Capitol building, there's nobody anywhere. Nobody's home. Nobody's home.
On a lot of it, I will agree that it looks like that a lot of the buildings are either vacant or that they are running skeleton crews. Because I have seen some of the buildings that look like they're boarded up, and maybe they're doing renovations, but it's hard to say what's truth and what's not. It's definitely not normal. Why would they do renovations on the entire city of Washington, D.C. all at the same time? So there's a lot of things that just aren't making sense. And the White House included, the IRS building, the FBI buildings. They moved the FBI buildings. I mean, just a lot of stuff that just it's a lot of stuff that's out there, and we're trying to figure it all out.
Well, we're trying to figure it all out, but we got boots on the ground. There's a lady and the guy, Richard, citizen journalist down there. I forget the lady's name, because I would love to give her some kudos, but maybe your audience knows. Maybe they could put it in the chat, because she deserves some attention as well. That are doing a fabulous job. This is boots on the ground with video, and they're basically showing you that nobody's home with real proof. These people don't have millions of dollars worth of equipment that they could fake the whole thing. This is real news, folks. There are pizza guys like me reporting the news. There are guys that come from all walks of life. They used to install windows or do shoe shine, whatever, reporting the news today, because, how much lying are we going to take? So these two people have gone to Washington, D.C. They're there now. They're there every day. They do reports. And for crying out loud, you got to be pretty thick to understand that the government's running on all cylinders. This engine's been shut down a long time ago. These people are reporting from a studio. The administration.
I have done many reports. Why are they not doing these addresses to the nation from the most powerful office in the world, which is the Oval Office? And even lamestream media is putting it out there that they're in the studio. Are they doing a remodel in the overall Oval Office? I haven't found anything that says yes. So why are they doing these reports from a studio? It's just awful strange.
Right. Absolutely. So, but anyway, Bitcoin's going to go out. GESARA, NESARA, XRP will be the bus that drives it all. The quantum financial system is XRP. The low-lying satellites, Elon Musk is up to his eyebrows with XRP, I'm sure. Behind the scenes, they're going to squeeze every drop of juice they can from Bitcoin until there's nothing left to squeeze. But I think it's going to go to zero. If I was holding Bitcoin right now, I would be crapping in my pants, literally. And same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum, I don't know if you know who Digital Asset Investor is, but Digital Asset Investor, for crying out loud, you know, love him. I mean, he reports a different story. He hasn't really looked at this side of the fence regarding GESARA and NESARA, and they're all singing the same song, all 100 and however many there are of them. But the reality is he has uncovered the most damning videos regarding this lawsuit, you know, and Ethereum, with everybody gets a white paper in their thing, and they're registering an email address that's untraceable, and you know what I mean? It's like the whole thing is rigged, right? You should, like I said many times, and I'll continue to say it forever, you should be able to fire the attorneys at Ripple and send in a Digital Asset Investor with video number 1, 2, 3, 4, 17, 18, 129, whatever, and have the judge watch them all. Have the judge watch them all. And after you watch all those videos, if the judge still is confused, she should be taken out of the damn courtroom in handcuffs.
Yeah, for real.
Because the evidence is like, but the lawsuit has been settled. It's on my YouTube channel. It's been settled. But they're looking for the right time to announce it. You know why, Mike? Because they have to figure out how they're going to spin it. What kind of linguistics are they going to use to wipe that egg off of their face so that they can look like a peachy and creamy, you know, thing that they're not, right?
I say if they're going to do it, just do it. Let's get it over with.
Me too, because as soon as they announce that we win the lawsuit, because we're going to win the lawsuit, that's pretty obvious. I mean, the evidence is so stacked against the SEC. It's not even funny. But why is the lawsuit? This is what people don't see. I ask a lot of questions. I've always asked a lot of questions. Why the lawsuit? Because if XRP is the one that's going to move all the money, what do they need to do? They need to brand XRP. And what a better way to brand XRP by winning the lawsuit. Can you imagine the headlines? Okay. XRP Ripple wins the lawsuit. SEC disqualified. Whatever the case, whatever the headline. In every language, in every news station, on every television, on every radio, every magazine, every newspaper, all over the internet, it will brand XRP because it's going to be what? The one that's going to move all the money. That's why I think partially that's part of the reason why the lawsuit.
Well, they've already won part of that lawsuit, so I'm just waiting to see, are they going to get the whole thing?
I think this, if I'm not guilty, I'm not going to plead guilty. If someone accuses you of rape and you have an American Express bill and you were 135 miles on the other side of town and you took some pictures that ended up on social media with time and date stamp, and you could prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you were nowhere near the scene of the crime, and you could go into court and prove that, why in the world would you want to pay a fine and put this behind you?
Good point. Good point.
If there's anybody that has raised money to launch a digital asset, that would be Ethereum, not Ripple.
So is Ripple part of XRP? Because that was a question earlier as well.
Yeah, Ripple is the company. XRP is the asset. Yeah, if Ripple goes away tomorrow, if Ripple folds as a company, I promise you XRP will continue unimpeded.
Okay. That should answer, I think there's one or two questions in chat about that. They were asking what's the difference between the two. So Ripple is the company that actually owns XRP.
Yeah. If they go to my channel, I sing a very different kind of song than the rest of the army. My song is resonating. When I talked to your producer, Denise, about 4 weeks ago, my channel was barely over 4,000 subscribers. Right before I got on with you, we went over 14,000 subscribers. In a month, awesome. We went up by 10,000.
That's awesome.
Okay.
What about Doge?
Dogecoin, you know, Dogecoin, as crazy as it may sound, is more fixable, a lot more fixable than Bitcoin. Even though Dogecoin was created in less than 3 hours, the actual software that runs Dogecoin was created in less than 3 hours. Can they fix it? The answer is yes. Will they? I don't know. Will it be part of the quantum financial system? I don't believe it will. I believe all these meme coins are nothing more than a distraction, because you see, there was a time where XRP was in the number 2 position about 3 years ago. And they could not have that much attention on the one that they know is the one. So they moved it down to the 6th position by all their tactics and manipulations or whatever. And I do believe that they go in and out with large sums of money, because we're hearing it right now. Somebody bought 128 million. Somebody sold 178 million. So they're coming in at precise times, and they're figured out a way to keep that thing down where they want you to pay attention to the shiny object that doesn't do nothing. Bitcoin, nothing. Absolutely nothing. When, Pompliano, who is one of the big high priests of Bitcoin, has to go on the news and promote Bitcoin on pizza boxes, you ain't got nothing. I mean, I used to be in the pizzeria industry. If I have to resort to promote a digital asset on pizza boxes, Houston, we got a problem. Okay? Anthony Pompliano. If you look at these guys like Michael Saylor and the Max Kaisers of the world, okay, these guys have made a lot of money. They got in at the right time with the Bitcoin. But when you listen to their story, they tell you, especially Michael Saylor, he'll tell you about the ground, and he'll tell you about the foundation. He'll tell you about the steel and the cement. He talks about everything, but he never tells you what Bitcoin does. You know why? Bitcoin doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything.
Wow. My brother tried to get me into to Doge. Was last year. He's bought quite a bit of Doge, and I just kind of stayed away from it. I don't really get involved in that stuff, to be honest with you. That's just not my thing.
But I'll explain to you in layman's terms and for your audience so that they can understand, Mike, and I think you'll appreciate this. If everybody decided to sell their Bitcoin because it has no use case, no utility, zero. If everybody in the next hour pulls the trigger and they want to get rid of their Bitcoins, Bitcoin will go to zero. Why? Because it doesn't solve a problem. It doesn't have utility. However, if everybody was to sell, including Garlinghouse and Chris Larson and David Schwartz, everybody that owns XRP, sells it tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. We all synchronize our watch. We all pull the trigger at the same time. We sell everything. Yes, XRP will go down to 0.0008 of a penny, just like when Bitcoin, but it will never go to zero because it has intrinsic value, because it solves a problem. You could build NFTs on it. You could build other tokens on it. It moves money at lightning speed. It's never made a mistake. It's scalable to 3.5 trillion transactions per second. This is all provable stuff. You can't argue with that kind of technology. I'm passionate about it because I know.
Just reading some of the questions in chat there, and here's a question for you. When do you think that T might come back? Because me personally, I'm thinking 2024, but there are still people out there that think he's going to come back before 2024. Me personally, I still think that it's got to be probably election time. But what are your thoughts on that?
I think it better happen before this year expires, because if you go to 2024, you ain't got a country left. You're going to bankrupt the United States of America. And when the United States of America falls, everything falls with it. That means the rest of the world plummets into serious communism. There's no way that we could sustain another 2 years of this. Or really, technically speaking, a lot of people are saying, it should happen by Easter, June, July, whatever, this year. Okay? I'm saying it better happen fast. I'm saying we have 2022. I'll give it to the end of this year. If it doesn't happen at the end of this year, we might be in a lot of trouble.
Well, we survived Obama, and if you remember, Obama was the Antichrist. There's still people that still believe he is. He's supposed to make remarks at the White House tomorrow on Obamacare, his big proud moment in history. And we survived him, but I feel like this guy here is on a faster track to destroy America than Obama could have. And I don't believe, I don't think we're going to be in good shape if we end up lasting another two years with this clown. And I won't call him my president because he's not. But I just don't see a path to I don't see a path to Trump coming back any sooner than that, unless something drastically happens.
Well, something drastic is going to happen. I don't know what that drastic thing is, and I hope it happens quicker because see, we had to get to this because, like I said earlier, we're in a movie. What is the movie about? The movie's about waking up who? The normies. See, I don't care if you're a normie, if you're left, right, middle, it doesn't matter. When you go to the grocery store and you got to pay $18 for a dozen eggs, everybody understands $18 for a dozen eggs. When you go to the bump and you got to pay, $12 for a gallon of gas, you're going to understand $12 for it, and you're going to wake up real fast. Normie or not.
I gotcha.
And that's what this is all about. This is about waking everybody up. And when I say, listen, if that's what it takes, let's get to those $18 for a dozen eggs as quickly as possible. If that's the moment we need to get to, let's get it over with.
That's gonna be expensive because we've talked about it quite a few times. If things get to that price right there, it's gonna affect everybody. Only the 1% won't be affected, but the rest.
Do you think that would snap the normies out, Mike? Do you think that would do it?
I think that would wake some people up. I think that very well could wake some people up. Here's something that I saw in chat that I think we should address.
Sure.
People are asking the question, should I pay my taxes? And my answer to you is absolutely yes. I would not go without paying taxes. That's my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, but I definitely would not pay, just in case. Worst case scenario, you pay and you get it back. But if you don't pay, it puts you in a real bad position. So I would say,
unless you want to live in Costa Rica. Unless you want to live in Costa Rica. By the way, for your audience, I know my audience knows, but this is hibiscus tea. It's not red wine. I don't want people thinking, whoa, Mel drinks a lot of red wine. No, it's hibiscus tea.
Hibiscus tea.
Yeah, it's really great for everything. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants. It's great for your heart. It's anti-cancer. It's anti-diabetes. It will clean the plaque out of your arteries. It's amazing stuff.
Wow. Yeah. Well, amazing I can tell stuff. People I'm paying my property tax. I'm paying my stuff, folks. And we'll just see where it goes from there. But I'm definitely not going to lose my place because I chose not to pay my property tax. Now, are there entities out there that no longer exist? I don't know. I don't have a way of proving it. It's just like, is the earth round or flat? Until I can actually take that 50,000 foot view or that 50,000 mile foot view, whatever, I couldn't answer that question for you. I'm going to go ahead and believe it's round.
Well, yeah. And like I said earlier to you, I hope that is one of the things they didn't lie to us about, because I'm used to the globe. I've been brainwashed to believe the globe is round, just like my head, Well,
yeah, of course, So, listen, I had David on here, and it was a great conversation. And, our chat was split about 50-50. 50% of people believe flat Earth. The other 50% is going to stay with the round Earth, and that's okay. He had some great information. He had some valid points, but it still didn't sell me on it.
Yeah. Well, I know that there's quite a few people out there that do believe it's a huge community. It's almost as big, I think, as the 17th letter in the alphabet in size.
It's getting big. It's getting big. Huge. It's getting very
It's huge. I'll just wait for the spaceship. When the spaceship is ready, you and I will make plans, and we'll go out there together. What do you think?
I would definitely hop on a spaceship and a rocket and I know, didn't they just take the very first civilian up? What was it? A few months ago, some guy paid a ridiculous amount of money to fly to outer space. Now, I don't have that kind of money, but I'd definitely like to take that ride.
Well, free energy technology is coming. Anti-gravitic travel is coming. You know, we're still, driving around on cars with rubber tires that are filled with air in 2022. When you really start to mow that around your brain a little bit, and you understand that we shouldn't be doing that. We should be roads should be a thing that we don't even need anymore. We should just need landing pads. I'm not talking about jets and stuff. I'm talking about stuff that's a little bit more advanced than that. I'm talking about, multi-luminal speeds. We should be there already, but we're not. And because somebody said we're not worthy, just like they think that we're not worthy of being able to handle our finances, and we're not worthy to be rich, and we're not worthy to go inside a med bed and live to be 900 years old, just like you used to be able to live in biblical times.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Why
Absolutely.
were you able to live like that long back then? The air was pristine. The water was pristine. It had all the trace minerals in the food, the air, the water, the ground. Everything was pristine. We're going back to that. That's all part of GESARA and NESARA. I get the chills thinking about this stuff because it's really amazing stuff. Free energy technology. This is why they don't want him back, Mike, because they know, there's something out there that was pretty convincing that says that Trump is a time traveler. And if I could find the video, I'll send it to you personally that you could share with your audience. It was pretty darn convincing to me. And if you start to look at the bloodlines of Mr. T and Tesla and the Jesus Christ bloodlines, man, there is no denying the uncle of Donald Trump who worked directly with Tesla. The story is off the charts. Tim said the other day, he says, I think that whole entire real estate thing was a front because this is a guy that knows about quantum healing and quantum physics and quantum everything.
Now, I did dive down some of that. I've read part of that book. What was it? The one that was written back in the 1800s about time travel. That was a fascinating. That was a fascinating book for one, and then to find out that his uncle did have ties to Tesla. I don't know, man. Just a lot of really unique information in that whole bundle. If you guys want a good read, if you guys want to do some research, I would suggest go there because it's pretty interesting to find how some of that stuff ties together. They talk about time travel. I'm not saying that I believe in it, but I'm just saying some of the stuff that's put out there is pretty amazing. And then you jump over to the Simpsons cartoons where they predicted so many things, some of it 10 years, 12 years in advance. Come on, man. There's definitely something there. And I find it really unique and interesting. To the chat real quick. I saw a couple of you say that we should have Mel back more often, and I would love to have more conversation with him. If you guys would just drop a 1 in the chat, I'd love to see how many of you guys would like to see Mel come back. And I mean, he talks about more than just NESARA, GESARA. We can get into the free energy. We can get into some of the other stuff that is sci-fi for me. I don't necessarily believe all that, but it's always a good conversation, and it's fun to learn and to hear other people's opinions and just what they know and what they've researched over the years. So it's just a really good time.
How many people in the chat? Just curious.
We got about 800 people watching right now.
Wow, that's quite a bit. Did you advertise this prior to?
No, I don't. I don't advertise it because YouTube just likes to mess with me, so I don't put that stuff up anymore. I used to make promos for this stuff, and then when I put a promo out, I wouldn't get anybody to show up, so I just quit doing it.
Unbelievable. This is an evil entity. This YouTube communist tube, I call it.
Yeah, it's definitely challenging at times. They They definitely like to mess with people, but I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I've got enough things to keep me busy that
Mhm.
none of this stuff really slows me down or affects me.
Yeah,
Same with the other trash that's out there. I don't pay any attention to it. Doesn't bother me. So I'm gonna keep rolling, roll on. So
absolutely, absolutely. And so I can tell your audience in case, because by the time I get your video and all of that, if you guys want to join our Telegram group, you can go on Telegram and just punch in XRP space QFS space GESARA NESARA space. There's a space between each word, and you'll find this very easily. XRP QFS GESARA NESARA, and we'll teach you the It's not easy, and I'm going to tell you right now. If you do come in, stay in the room. If someone approaches you, I got Mike. With all due respect, I got more clones than Kim Jong Un. Okay, they approach these people one on one because they're wet behind the ears and they have no experience, and they try to take them. Unfortunately, some of them got taken a little bit for a little bit of money. But I always say to everybody, please stay in the room. And what they do is when I allow my people every time they are being approached to take a snapshot, a picture of how they're being scammed, so that we have their playbook, and they post it inside our Telegram group. And so the enemy's dead on arrival, DOA. If you guys are listening out there, all you scumbags, you're all done. We're going to take you all out. Because I march to a beat of a different drummer. I'm sort of like the salmon that swims upstream, and I have fun with it. I like the challenge, and I turn it into a game. And I see, okay, let's see what they got. So if we know every single play you're going to throw at us, and we're advertising in a room that's got thousands and thousands of people, and everybody's basically every day I drill everybody, please stay in the room. Not because we want to hold you captive, but we don't want to see anybody get hurt. I'm the guy that will live and die on the battlefield fighting for the little guy and gal. You understand? And so we turn it into a game. Everybody takes pictures of all these scams. Somebody got approached. Protect yourself from scammers. Via email, this happened today through a friend of mine that actually invested through one of my brokers a large sum of XRP. And and I took a picture of that. I said, they're approaching you now that they're going to protect you from the scammer when they are a scammer themselves. That's what they're trying now. So every trick in the book that they throw at us, we advertise it. This way we look at it, we study it, we know what their playbook is, and the enemy is defeated. End of story.
amen. Well, I think I'm going to wrap that up here. I'd like to get your final thought for tonight, and I'll give you an invite right here. If you ever want to come back, just reach out to Denise. Love to have you back, and we'll dive into some of these other topics that you've got a lot of time into, because I've enjoyed the conversation tonight.
Yeah.
I still don't see everything that you're seeing, but it's very interesting, and I just want to learn. So that's the big
Well,
thing.
that's good. See that you said the correct word. I want to learn. Bingo. There's a difference between somebody who's a normie that doesn't want to learn versus somebody said, "I'll give you free popcorn, Mike. You can come into my movie theater anytime you want. I'll give you the GESARA NESARA website, which sits inside our quantum financial system. You could read it, and you'll know that this has been written. This is the most accurate, by the way. We have the most impressive GESARA NESARA website that lives inside our quantum financial systems manual. It is unbelievable. It is and it doesn't just talk about GESARA NESARA 1.0, which is what we're going into now. It talks about GESARA NESARA 2.0, 3.0, all the way until the money is going to disappear. And I hate to disappoint all you guys who are about to become fabulously wealthy, including myself. The money's going to disappear.
I definitely think fiat is going bye-bye, and same with the petro. It's already gone bye-bye.
Yeah.
A lot of countries pulling out of the petrodollar, but I definitely think that the currency as we know it is going to go bye-bye. What is going to replace it? I don't know that for sure. XRP definitely seems like a viable option, and I'll just leave it at that. So that's my final thought for tonight. Mel, thank you so much for joining me, and love to have you back. I'll jump over with you anytime you want. And it was just a great conversation tonight. I think people learned a few things. I had a lot of questions we couldn't answer. Just not enough time to answer all the questions. But the more shows that we do, I think we can answer some of those questions.
Mike, place that speaks.
Absolutely, brother. All right, folks. I'll be back
Thank you,
tomorrow
man.
morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, and headline hits tomorrow afternoon as well. And I haven't looked at my schedule, but I know that we got some other things coming up as well. So thanks for joining us, Mel. It was great to have you, and God bless. And we'll see all of you guys on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hoping for a sincere performance, but open to finding the moment, to finding out where I'm headed now. Looking for a sign of disaster, so I can make it there faster. I'm weighing the consequences out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. Can you tell me the secret of how you can take it or leave it? How you can blend in with the crowd? I'm so scared, so damn afraid to look. I'm so sick of talking. I'm wearing the words out, words out. I can see in all directions. It's all open to interpretation, but I see colors that are breaking from the other side, the other side. When I make mountains out of summer trails, when I buckle under all the details, I'll keep going till I make it to the other side, the other side. When it feels like everyone's out to get me, I see the river on the bank.